Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to 48 Blitz OT, now in week 9 of high school football here across the Tennessee Valley. I cannot believe we're already 10 weeks into this high school football season and only one more week of regular season play. This season has absolutely flown by for me. I don't know about for you all, but it is absolutely flown by. Already week 9 of high school football here in the Valley, which I just got to take a minute to let that sink in because that is absolutely insane. But welcome to 48 Blitz OT. We have 48 Sports Director Carl Prather. He's going to be coming into the 48 Now Center momentarily. He's got to get mic'd up first and get the show ready to go. But until then, I'm going to run through some of the top scorers, and also digital content producer Miss Javon Williams will also be coming in with Carl Prather. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be super exciting. Obviously go through the highlights of your favorite teams here across the Valley. But until then, we are going to jump into some of the scores for tonight's games. Not a lot of very close games here in North Alabama. A lot of really massive crushing wins for a lot of teams, but there were quite a few really tight matchups, one of them being the 48 game of the week, the North Jackson Chiefs taking on those Randolph Raiders. And of course, the North Jackson Chiefs, they held on to defeat the Raiders in a little 4A Region 8 action. North Jackson takes the win 28-26 over Randolph. So shout out to North Jackson. It's always great to get a late season regional win like that over a really, really high quality opponent. So shout out to North Jackson there. And another tight matchup. Again, there weren't a lot of them this week. Not a lot of close games, but the other one, of course, that is Muscle Shoals and Hartselle in another regional rivalry. This one is 6A. But this was a 1-point game, y'all. Muscle Shoals, the Trojans, came away with the victory. A 1-point win over Hartselle. They won 29-28 over Hartselle. But a super exciting, super close game there, which was, again, a rarity this week because it seemed like there were a lot of shutouts and a lot of multi-score wins for a lot of teams here in the Valley. But if you were at any games here in North Alabama, I would love you to shout them out. Was it cold where you were? Did your team get the win? Did they just fall short? We want to know. We want to know what you all have to say and the teams you're rooting for here in North Alabama. But as we're waiting for comments to come in, I'm going to run through some of the other scores. Winston County and Decatur Heritage, that was a one-score game. Winston County coming away with the win 14-7 over Decatur Heritage. So a great game there. A shutout win for Lauderdale County. They took the win over Colbert Heights 55-0. Not a lot of action for Colbert Heights there. But I believe it is about time we send it over to, of course, our 48 Sports Director, Carl Prather. And again, Javon Williams is in the house tonight.
What's up, y'all? What's going on? You know, might as well just get it going and get
might
it
as well. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. What is up?
You know, the ones and twos, man. Awesome. Welcome in, everyone. We are here for our 48 Blitz OT. We're here in our CTV studio. Big thanks to AJ. Big thanks to Javon, rather. Listen, folks, North Alabama, Tennessee Valley, you all don't understand what these two folks do, along with a million other people, to kind of make our shows worthwhile. So we truly appreciate everybody putting these shows together and just kind of giving you everything that you need to know, recap, scores, highlights from all of our teams in the Tennessee Valley. Javon, we are in week 9 of the high school football season, which is hard to believe. This is the second to last week of the high school football regular season. I know it seems like you literally went through a gazillion scores and videos alongside AJ, but we're close to the end of the regular season.
We are, and it sucks to see it get to this point, but it's also the best part because everybody is metal to the floor.
Yes.
Like, this is crunch
Yes.
time for all of these teams wanting to get their spot in the playoffs. And I will say there were a lot of close games tonight, like Muscle Shoals and Hartselle. Like, I wish I would have been there at those games, but we have those highlights for y'all coming up.
We do. We got a lot to get to tonight. As Javon just mentioned, AJ had discussed it earlier in the show tonight. A lot of our teams are looking to do a number of things. Either win a region title. That we had a handful of games that had that at stake across the valley. Number two, try to just punch your ticket to the playoffs. Those that are new to North Alabama and the state of Alabama, the way that our high school football format works to reach the playoffs, you have 4 spots. We have 8 regions from classes 1A, which is our smallest classification, up to 6A. And then in class 7A, it's our top 32 teams in the state. What I mean by top, it's the schools, the high schools that have the highest enrollments across the Yellowhammer state. So we only have 32, which means we only have 4 regions in that. But nonetheless, 4 spots, no matter how you cut it, is a way for you to get into the playoffs. If you are one of the top 2 seeds, you get to host the playoff game in 2 weeks when action gets underway on November 8th. So that's why tonight, along with some of our previous weeks, are so important as we kind of got into region play. So we start tonight, Javon, AJ, and for all of our viewers watching across all of our digital and social platforms, with our game of the week. Our own Cam Durr, our teammate, was there for our 48 Blitz game of the week. It was North Jackson. It was Randolph. At stake, a region title for Randolph. If they won, for North Jackson, they had to win tonight at home at R.D. Hicks Stadium, and then they have an opportunity to clinch a region title if they can get past Randolph tonight with a victory over DAR. Our own Cam Durr, as mentioned, had a recap from that contest out.
This week, we ride into Chiefs country as the 6-0 Randolph Raiders takes on 5-1 North Jackson for a shot at a Class 4A Region 8 title. And early on, the offenses were on full display. One team taking to the air. Randolph's Walker Mitchell hauling it in and stretching out for the touchdown. 7-0 Raiders up early. North Jackson sticking to the ground game. They tie it up with a big run by Diego Holt, 7-7 after the first 2 possessions of this game. A back and forth first half, and in this one, offense, the story through the first 24 minutes of play. Diego Holt muscles in for the go-ahead score, his 3rd touchdown of the night. Chiefs led 21-14 heading into the locker room. Well, the story changed in the second half, and the defense was the main character. Only a touchdown apiece in the second half. Randolph only yards away from history in the 4th quarter. They're going to be stopped short. The 2-point attempt, no good. Bring on the ice-cold showers. Coach Hollis and his Chiefs 1 game away from a region title. 28-26, the final score.
Really proud of the kids. They played gutsy the whole game, and then when the big moments came, they found a way. You know, we were all dependent on each other, and I thought they played as a team, and just so proud of players, coaches, everybody involved.
All right, and some of the other final scores here in North Alabama. Decatur Heritage coming away with a win over Winston County, 14-7. Lauderdale County with a shutout win, 55-0 over Colbert Heights. Whitesburg Christian a shutout win as well over Asbury, 62-0. Brooks with a big win tonight over West Limestone. They get the win, 41-18. And a tighter game, this Madison Academy and Plainview game. Madison Academy coming away with the victory, 24-16. And then finally, we have Russellville and Priceville. Russellville getting the win there, 28-12 over Priceville.
Yeah, I will say this for our viewers. Big shout out to Madison Academy. So Javon and AJ, remember as they started the year, they started 0-2. Now this is a team that reached the Class 4A playoffs in the state championship game a year ago. Unfortunately, came up short on the short end of the stick for that. So you had a lot of high expectations as you kind of came into this year, but to start off 0-2 against some pretty formidable opponents for sure, Marshall Bible and Randolph. But congratulations to Bob Gotzi and company. That game was going to determine the final spot in the Class 4A and within their region, the playoffs. So congratulations to Madison Academy. They're headed to the playoffs. They'll have to go on the road to do it to try to potentially return back to the Super 7 championships. But, hey, you'd rather be playing football in a couple of weeks than not playing football, right? So, big congratulations to Madison Academy. All right, Javon, we're just going to go ahead right into another big region matchup. You mentioned this game earlier because it was such a close game. Hartselle on the road and Muscle Shoals. And what a game as we head to these highlights tonight. And it was an amazing atmosphere, as one would imagine tonight. Really good atmosphere out there in Muscle Shoals for sure. And we will like to pick it up in the first half of this contest. And AJ, your thoughts on how close this game was as you kind of watch the highlights come in. Really got going because Aiden Gay took a kickoff to the crib for a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a super close game there. Absolutely. Anytime you have a one-score game here in a regional rivalry like this one, you know it's going to be a good one. But, yeah, super close game there.
Absolutely. And Jaden Morris, he had a first down. Noah Lee will call his own number for Hartselle in this contest. And then you see Jaquez Green going to go deep to Cade Clemens there. So here's how this game ended for those interested. Hartselle had an opportunity to take the lead with a field goal from 32 yards out with 6 minutes or so left in the contest. They missed the field goal, and Muscle Shoals kind of held serve and was able to come away with the victory. But hey, any way you can get it, Javon, 29-28, Muscle Shoals, region champs yet again.
Hey, a win is a win.
A
You
win
can never complain.
Is a win. We only judge football this way. W's and L's. Does not matter how you look at it. Did you get the win? And Coach Scott Basin and company got the win tonight. Big thumbs up to the Trojans. Both teams are going to the playoffs for sure. They're both going to host respective first-round playoff games. But yeah, you always that's kind of one of those attainable goals that you want to have kind of written into your goals for the regular season. Mm-hmm. Get to the regular season, end it, reach the playoffs. But if you could win a championship and a region championship, just go ahead and do it for sure. All right, we're going to switch gears and head to Geraldine Fife. Yet another region championship on the line between two awesome programs. It was a great atmosphere. I mean, Will Shooting was out there for the contest at Paul Bennington Stadium in this contest. Brandon gets to end it. Host the first round playoff game as well in 2 weeks. This was all about Logan Anderson, folks. If you are familiar with our area in high school football, you know that kid is truly special. Rushed for over 2,500 yards a year ago at running back. Player of the year in his classification, does a little bit of everything. He's going to go play for Dabo Sweeney and company a year from now at Clemson in the ACC. He had a huge night tonight. Fife had a huge night tonight. They are region champs yet again with a 42-7 win. We move to our plays of the week. AJ, Javon, Ryan Fay, Kate Norum, all of our digital teams do such an amazing job with this each and every week. It's quite simple. We pick some of our best plays from our football action on Thursday and Friday nights. Once we decide the 3 nominees, we post them, you vote. And our 3 nominees tonight are Randolph, Muscle Shoals, and Fife. You can vote right now. Head over to waff.com/play of the week. Our voting ends Wednesday at 3, and then during our 6 p.m. newscast, we will announce the winner for that. Hard to believe we're close to the end of our plays of the week with just one more week of voting left after this week. But we have 3 amazing candidates there with 3 amazing plays there from our action in week 9 of the high school football season. So, hey, with that, week 9 is in the books. We head to week 10, Javon. We do have 1 or 2 region games still left there. But for the most part, all of our teams that are going to reach the playoffs have clinched their respective berths outside of a couple of tiebreakers that maybe the Alabama High School Athletic Association and Montgomery will have to go through. But it's playoff time. You were a high school student before. AJ, you were a high school student before. I was a high school student before. Football teams get ready for the playoffs. There's nothing like you trying to watch or attempting to watch your team try to make a deep run in the playoffs. Yeah, I know you remember those from the land of Greater Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Oh, yeah, getting T-shirts made,
Absolutely.
Getting on the bus, seeing the team off, following the team on their journey there, being there, face paint, all of it. I miss it so much. So if you get a chance to do that, send us your pictures. We'll post you.
Absolutely.
I promise.
There we go. I love it. I love it. And listen, of course, AJ played football, and I know for him, obviously you're paying attention to the game and kind of focusing on the game, but what makes high school football so special, as you know, Javon, is the community, everything around the game. So many fans and the student body and the band and the cheer coaches and your cheer sponsors and the parents in the stands. That's what makes high school football Friday night so special. And even Thursday nights when we have Thursday night games so special across our area. So big thumbs up to all of our amazing communities across our area, just continuing to do such an exceptional job each and every week of the high school football season. We head to the regular season finale next week, folks. We'll have you completely covered starting next week, our Week 10 edition of 48 Blitz. And then we head into our 48 Blitz playoff edition starting with round 1 as a number of our teams starting on November 8th make the potential run to the Super 7 championships in Birmingham at Protective Stadium. For Javon Williams, for AJ Weiss, I'm Carl Prather. And have a good weekend. Enjoy all of these football games this weekend in the NFL. And we'll see you back here next Friday night for another edition of 48 Blitz OT.